Hey, BoLS fans, AdamHarry back again with another quick BoLS unboxing, and today we have the brand new Space Marines Storm Speeder. I'm actually a little bit worried about this one because I want to see what size it is. Not worried, I guess, but yeah, that thing. We've gotten pictures again. This one's got a little bit of a history with me because I made that fake I made a fake picture of like a bad Photoshop, and yeah. It turned out that I was making fun of an actual thing, and now it's here. So I'm excited to open it up and actually get to see what it actually looks like and the actual size of this thing. Because, man, I don't think it's gonna be like, the box is not telling me, you know, it's not looking Storm Raven big, but it definitely looks bigger than a Land Speeder. So I'll quit rambling and let's get in here. All right, we got the box, got the plastic wrap off. Let's get in here and see what we're dealing with. So again, I mean, this has been a long time coming. This thing was teased like almost 2 years ago, maybe? It's been a while. Oh, one more. Go. All right, that's everything in the box. All right, let's see what we got here. We got instructions on how to put everything together, full color. Again, there are 3 different variants there: the Storm Speeder, Hellstrike, Thunderstrike, and Hammerstrike. Don't know which one I'm going to pick when I put this together, but we got rules on there, rules for the weapon stats. Space Marine Codex is out, so just go read that. But they're here too. We got a water slide transfer, mostly for Ultramarines. This is a water slide transfer for Ultramarines vehicles. So if you need some extra Ultramarine things, there you go. First things I'm seeing here, that's a big old flight stand. Looks like the little pegs. Those clip off, and you'll be able to glue this down to your base, which is like, what is that? I don't know how big that is. We'll get some size comparisons here in a second, though. But here's the sprues. We got 3 sprues. We'll take a look at these in a second, but there you go. That is telling me it's going to be larger than the Land Speeder for sure, but just if that's the bottom of the chassis, that's going to be probably, I don't know, larger than a Land Speeder, maybe Rhino size? We'll find out. Let's take a look at these sprues. Let's start with the one I was just showing off. I don't know about that. Here we go. Okay. So what are we looking at here? Obviously, this is the underside of the Storm Speeder. We do have the top carapace here. This looks like the top part for the cockpit and things like that. Engine bay back here. I like that it's got like a little door that I guess the gunner gets in and out of. And then there's the little kneecaps for the pilots. Pilot and gunner, I guess. And then there's the inside. Looks like a lot of stuff's going to get glued in there. We'll go through that here probably. And that's the first sprue. Second sprue, more of the same. You can kind of see how this is laid out. This was probably the middle sprue section. But again, torsos, things like that. There are 3 heads, which makes sense because there's actually 3. It's like pilot, 2 gunners. So there you go. Your different weapon options here. Yeah. Cool, this is the side part of it, clearly. So, here's the back, or the other side of that sprue. So, that's the second sprue. Now, the third one here, more of the same. We do have, this looks like the chair section with some vents on the side, little gunner up top. Looks like you can load up a couple of different missile weapon options here. So, the top gun turret, as well as the side sponsons and things like that. So, cool looking set of sprues. Again, comes in 3. So again, this would go probably something a little like this. If I had to guess, yeah, this would go probably like that, and then like that. So yeah, those are the 3 sprues. Now with the power of editing, I'm gonna put some of this bad boy together, and then we're gonna see what it actually looks like compared to some things. Ta-da! Okay, full disclosure, it's not completely built yet. I haven't added the guns, but I got to a point where I felt like I could show off the size of the chassis. I'll even talk about some of the challenges I noticed when putting this bad boy together, but we'll get to that. So here's the base compared to with the flight stand here, as you can see, kind of size comparison. So how big is this thing? Turns out it was pretty close. First up, here it is next to a Land Speeder. And you can see, just like how Space Marines got Primarisized into Primaris Marines, the Land Speeder totally got Primarisized into the new Storm Speeder. So definitely a big big jump here. It is much bigger and it is wider, as you can see, compared to a Land Speeder. So not quite double. It's like 2/3. It's like taking a classic Space Marine and taking them to Primarisized. It's just that much more volume. Matter of fact, wanted to compare it to a couple of other vehicles too. Here it is next to the Invader ATV, just to give you an idea. So again, it is probably an extra quarter, 1/4 the back end there of the Invader ATV. Again, compared to a Land Speeder, which is about the same. So you can kind of see the progression there. And just for one more frame of reference here, in terms of size, let me slide these down. It's, like I said, about as big as a Rhino. So this is an old school Rhino. This is actually not a gray. It's actually painted gray on purpose. This was part of a particular army, which was Relictors. But anyway, you can see the size comparison there. It's about as long as an old school Rhino. It's about as wide as one too. A little bit. Count the wings and stuff. So yeah, there you have it. That is a really good size comparison for you there for the Storm Speeder. Now let's talk about building this thing. All right, so a couple of problem areas I noticed when I was putting this thing together. First off, if you can see on the sides, there's some pretty bad on my part there, plastic glue melting the seam. So typically the tolerances are so good on these models that I don't have an issue using plastic glue. I did not have any rubber bands on me to make sure that when I put the plastic glue on the seams that it held tight. So this was one problem area that I noticed. This is actually going to be tied to when you're doing this step. Now you're probably looking at this step here and there's not even the top part down. Adam, what are you talking about? Well, that's because you need to make sure that this thing is flush with the sides, and then the side panels that go on there are actually touching it. That's the first thing you can do, is when you are assembling this model, make sure that you put the plastic glue like I use, make sure that the side panel here, it's actually highlighted in yellow, there's glue on those and they're actually touching the walls of the sides here. That'll make sure that this area, which is the most likely to bow, actually is making flush contact, so that when you get to this step, when you're actually putting the canopy or the hood down, as it were, everything lines up smoothly and touches. So that was the first problem area I noticed. Again, I thought I clipped and cleaned everything pretty well. I typically do a pretty good job on that. So that was one thing I noticed. The next thing is this joint right here. This was my bad. I got in a rush because I was trying to build this to show off on camera. But this is the underside here. These are the little anti-grav plates. If you notice here, this seam actually went together real smooth. There's no gap. This one has a slight gap. That was my bad. I did not clean the contact point well enough. So when I actually put glue down and was slapping this together, there was one little bit of sprue that was still on there that pushed out, and then you can kind of see that contact point right there in the middle. That's because I didn't clean it well enough. So that was on me. That was my bad. But again, I don't have all of the weapons down. I want to point this out to you. This little gunner seat pops off, and it should rotate still. If you don't put any glue down, this thing should rotate, and you can kind of see it rotate there. With the flat going down, and then I'm going to rotate it back. Flat's rotating. So that'll have the weapon platform on there. It should make it really cool. And I haven't attached any weapons, obviously, on here yet, because I wanted to show this off. But those are the two sort of problems areas I noticed when assembling this model. So again, the second one, that was on me. I got in a rush. The first one, though, if I had a rubber band or something to compress this, to hold it tight while it was drying, I wouldn't have had a gap. But that's what happens when you are building stuff in your studio and not at your hobby space. So there you go. That's my tips for the Storm Speeder. Alright folks, well that was the unboxing for the Space Marine Storm Speeder for the Space Marines, obviously. It is up for pre-order probably by the time you watch this video, if it's not already out in stores. Again, by the time you watch this video. It's pretty cool. Larger than I was thinking. Thankfully, not as big as I was worried about. But it looks pretty cool. I'm excited to get it finished up and painted and on the flight stand. I think I might do like a magnet thing though. This thing will fit in here, but it's not quite as tight as I would like. So I'm probably gonna snip this off and put magnets. I have some left over from another project, so that would be my easy fix for that. So yeah, anyway, I'm AdamHarry from BoLS. Thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.